Let's start by talking about a vague concept in the Valorant universe: the natural balance. Omen seems to have a good understanding of the powers possessed by other Radiants and often comments on them in game.
Reyna, the souls you consume, do you hear their voices as I do? Sky the Life Weaver, the power to create, to destroy. Which path will you embrace, I wonder? Oh, there is a terrible beast inside you, Sky. Unleash it. I'm curious, Rift Walker. When you travel, can you feel the pieces you leave behind?
Therefore, it's a good guess that Omen knows what he's talking about. He also talks about this natural balance and how Sage's selfless actions go against it.
A radiant healer is with them. I can feel her pull against the natural balance. I've reset the balance. Sage, the life you give. Do you ever wonder where it's taken from?
During the Blackmailer arc, a dossier about Sage was revealed that also talks about her willingness to go above and beyond for other people, despite incurring a toll. We don't know what the toll is, but we can make really good guesses. But before that, let's lay some groundwork. This is an in game artwork where we can see Sage in her monastery. The group seems to be training or practicing, but only two of them seem to be Radiants. We know that Radiant powers are a result of genetic makeup, and we know that Reyna and Lucia have similar powers, needing to consume the life essence of others. Therefore, there is a high possibility the person on the left is Sage's brother. We have not seen multiple Radiants share similar abilities. Radiant powers are always unique. Now let's speculate what the toll might be by comparing media and cinematics and artwork we have seen before. The Die For You cinematic was released on the 23rd of November 2021. In that cinematic, we see Sage using her powers to preserve the life around her, but unfortunately she's unable to. Continuous attempts to heal results in jade crystals rapidly emerging from her body, eventually trapping her in a pillar of jade. This growth is something that we have seen in recent cinematics like Why We Fight and the shot that was released a few days ago. So we can speculate that excess use of her powers may result in her incarcerating herself, which is the toll that is being referred to here. This fate that lies ahead of Sage is also hinted at by the statue we see in the animated shot, in the small chance that that is her brother. Based on what we have seen Sage go through, this may likely be her fate. But if that is your fate, why press forward? Maybe because this is the only way for her. Here's another small detail. This may not be intentional, but the lyrics in the Why We Fight cinematic also hint at this, or at least that is one way that I chose to interpret them. Both these lines very clearly hint at what Sage is going through and ties in very well with the entire narrative of her story. Now, bear with me for a second. Let's talk about another in-game cosmetic known as the Fortune's Hand, Judgment. This line of cards are inspired from tarot cards. Tarot is a set of playing cards used in fortune telling or divination. In both cards, the figures float above the people that they judge, represented as angels by their wings. The outstretched arms of the people are similar to the crystal jade hand stretched towards Sage from underneath her. The meaning of this tarot card is about self reflection, that we can have a clearer and a more objective understanding about where we are now and what we need to do in order to grow. Okay, sure, but how is any of this relevant? A lot of voice lines in game are indicators of how Sage continuously reflects on her purpose and value and who she is.
I wasn't strong enough before, but now I am strong enough for us all. I can always do better. I know what must be done. I am not just your healer.
Which again ties in well with the self-reflection and the self-judgment motif. But the judgment card also signifies that one is coming closer to a very significant point in their life. At the end of the animated shot, we can hear a voice say,
Don't give up.
As the jade figure cracks, which is similar to how Sage frees herself and takes control in the Die For You cinematic, we can see that it begins by struggling and cracks emerging in the jade pillar. This can mean that in the future, Sage might learn how to control her powers and be truly unstoppable. Again, this is just speculation. We can also see glimpses of someone with a half smile and green eyes, whereas Sage has dark brown eyes. So the entrapped person might not be Sage herself. But there is another detail I would like to show you guys. In the Unstoppable card series, which the deal I suppose is that the characters are at the peak of their potential, we can see jade pillars on the corners of the card that are very similar to something that we see in the animated shot. And we can also see that Sage has glowing jade eyes, green eyes, which is pretty interesting and confusing at the same time. If jade eyes represent obtaining absolute control of one's healing and resurrection powers, and the reflection is supposed to be her brother, why is he incarcerated? Maybe the jade statue represents Sage in the future when the toll is collected, and the voice of her brother pushes her on, giving her hope, while the glimpses we see are of Sage as her future self, having mastered her true potential. Because the entire point or the ending of the animated short seems to be that there is some hope for Sage in the future. I may be wrong, but my main guess is that their joint ideals and her brother's supposed fate is one of her main motivations. Despite what may happen, her brother tells her to push forward, even though he was incarcerated. That was his fate. But even then, he tells her to push forward, which might also mean that there is a way to overcome this. All of this is determinate, though. Let me know what you think. I've tried to provide evidence first before speculating so that people can come to their own conclusions. I have some more fun ideas I want to make videos about in the future, so if you're interested, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.